Okay, I feel like we're just gonna film. Because if I don't film this, I'm never gonna film this. And I feel like I'm losing my mind. Okay. Hello, YouTube. I don't know what this video is gonna be. We'll see what comes out of my mouth. I can't believe I'm back on YouTube. No one knows that I've ever made a YouTube channel. Like 3 people followed me, so no worries there. But I think I'm back because I'm having a literal crash out. I think it's like 3 weeks going strong on this crash out. We're not doing well. I am struggling, to say the least. I'm actually very happy that I ended up filming this today. 3 days ago, inaudible. Like, you can't understand any of the words I'm saying. I think I'm just really fed up with life, like my life living here in LA. I moved here to pursue a dream. Call it a delusional one, but we're still here. We're still living and rocking in the delusion. But wow, have I been tested? I think it's quite hard. So I moved here into a pandemic. That's how I started my life and attempting to start my career in a pandemic. By the way, we're gonna make a crash out cocktail because we're not doing the best. So I'm just gonna add some things in. We're gonna start with some lemonade, right? Because vodka's not an option today. We're not doing that. That's a bit extreme. By the way, don't drink when you're sad. Alcohol is a downer, not an upper. Okay. Blueberry concentrate. Let's go. Yeah. So I moved here when I was a youngin', leaving college, and I went into some would call a worldwide epidemic. I don't know if you can say the other word on here really a lot. And it was really hard to kind of deal with, to reconcile. I had hope and faith, but LA had changed as well as the industry. Then I remember I almost got a job at a studio, not gonna name the studio, but they definitely were like, oh, we'd love to take you. But Disney closed their doors yesterday, and we're all closing our doors this week. So there goes potential job, right? Then historic strikes happen. Strikes that have never happened back to back. So we had the writer strike, then the actor striked. Then we had IATSE strike. IATSE is crew. So anyone, even if you get the actors to agree to go, no one's on set because the crew is not going to show up. They're on strike, right? So you had a whole year of that. Then on top of that, I had life-changing trauma, growth, development as a person. And I think that what's happening now, like I'm coming out of my, like, the manic state I was in, and I'm realizing I had grieved all of these lives that I thought I would live, right? I thought, oh, I see this happening for me at 22, and this happening for me at 26, and this happening for me. And I looked up and I was like, that's never going to happen. That's never going to be my life. That's never going to be how I perceive the world, and I have to get over that. But it's a whole nother thing to grieve reality, to grieve the life you're actually living, and I was not prepared for that. I think I've gotten a lot of luck in my life, and I looked up, and everywhere I thought I had a connection, they left the industry. They were on mass layoffs. I mean, people are still reeling from Paramount, just fluttering people away 2 seconds ago. So I'm living in a space where I don't know mentally how I'm coping. Speaking of that, let's add some magnesium to this drink. We're not doing well. Okay. But like, you can't crash out like a normal person because you're in LA, so you have to take an elixir. LA has got to me. It works, I'm just not prepared, you know? What was I saying? I don't even know what I was saying. Memory, train of thought lost. But yeah, so grieving the life that I am now living, my current reality, which is, it's very hard to work in Hollywood. It's very hard not only to break in, but to stay and to kind of grow. And a lot of people in Hollywood are very desperate to stay exactly where they are. I think a lot of people would be very surprised to know that their faves are not doing well. Their faves are not excelling. They're not living on the up and up. There's a lot of people struggling in the industry. So then to fight your way in thinking that you're going to change the world, it's kind of hard to do. I feel like I'm not done, but it definitely has been hard dealing with the fact that I'm not coming into this industry as a director. I came in trying to produce. You know, I was inspired by Oscar So White, and I was determined to figure out how to produce, how to write, as well as be an actor. And people have found it very hard to understand marketing me as if Tyler Perry doesn't exist. I'm doing less work than he is, but it's hard to conceive someone doing multiple jobs. Anyway, it's fine. Yeah, you accept less money for things, you accept less prestige for things, and they still screw you over. It's crazy. Yeah, and then because I'm not a director, but I want to produce, there are certain things that I didn't go toward for my career because it wouldn't yield the results that I wanted. Like a lot of short films, everyone's saying, make the short film, make the short film. You don't make any money off of short films. So I would be fighting for my life to produce the feature once we get people interested in the film, if that makes sense to anybody, right? You get to a point where people think you're an idiot, and I'm like, have you gone over the numbers? This doesn't make any, why would I do that? Yeah, so can't really do it that way. And then because my field is creating kind of IP or properties, when actors go awry, when budgets fall through, when people decide they don't want to make that anymore, when your whole cast and writer's room go on strike because another producer pissed them all off, my projects go, they just don't exist anymore. And then I have nothing to show for the years that I have been working on projects. And people think, so what are you doing with your life? So what are you doing in LA? And I don't know how to explain. I'm on my 7th failure right now. My 7th failed project right now. And it sucks. You know, I wanted to build a really intense and like magical life for myself. And I'm not seeing that happen because I spent so much time dedicated to this. So I think now it's a new year, right? We're in a new space. I think I'm gonna tweak my approach because whatever I'm doing is not working. Passion flower. We're gonna add some passion flower to literally calm my nervous system. You guys, I'm so impressed. I haven't cried once. This is one take. We're just gonna do it in one go. I'm not dealing with another take. I don't know if it's like the delirium now that I'm laughing. Vervain. Yes, we're on Vervain. Thank you, Vampire Diaries, for putting me on. Ugh. But yes, for those who don't believe, Vervain. She's our friend. Yeah, and if push came to shove, if you're that desperado, I really recommend, you know, just diving into some alcohol when you're not sad. But yeah, I had these big dreams. You know, I want to spend time dedicated to a wellness company. I want to spend time dedicated to kind of my art. I want to spend time dedicated to travel. You know, I've lost the languages that I was learning because I've spent all of my free time dedicated to this. And I'm not saying I'm going to stop, but I think I'm going to tweak my approach to how I'm working on my film projects. And I feel like I'm going to showcase the process here and maybe use it as my diary, like my digital diary. Yeah, I think that the process is really weird. And if no one knows how to market me, I'm just going to market myself. I'm just going to use this to market myself and talk about what I want to make, talk about how I want to interact with the world. Yeah, and come along for the ride. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be weird. I can't promise results, but I can promise a good time because with this industry, you literally never know. But I will be open and honest and transparent and show you kind of the process of growing and building a life for yourself when you're not a director and you don't only act. So yeah, just gonna mix this and cheers.